Hey everyone, welcome back to part 6 of Mummy Berserker. I'm Ultraviolent 4, and in the last one we picked up our first rune of this game, which is here in the Spider's Nest, the Gossamer rune of Zot. It's quite a hard fought one. In fact, there's a show that I've now applied to be on. It's called I'm Lucky to Be Alive, because we are very, very lucky to be alive. The Spider's Nest is always, of course, extremely dangerous to a mummy due to tarantellas, and we got confused at a very bad time because I got lazy, went down a stair without checking it, we got confused and very nearly died. So, yeah, this character should be dead, but is not. We're still streaking. So we're going to try to get a second rune this episode, or at least make some good progress on it, which is the barnacled rune of Zot. Let's head over to Shoals. We did a bit of a tech switch. So we were training for a Vestibulas, but I found this +8 hand crossbow of Simarm, which is a penetration crossbow. The RNs are relevant because we're infinitely RN as an undead species. But a +8 hand crossbow with penetration, yes please. So I switched out of that. Even though the sling training was very useful because it was also giving us throwing, and we made some very good use of a blowgun in the Spider's Nest, although it did bring up one of Kroll's oldest and most fundamental questions, and that is, how does an undead mummy who doesn't breathe use a blowgun? I don't know. These things are sort of unanswered. Anyway, Shoals is very dangerous. Fortunately, it's not too bad for a Trog user or Trog worshipper. We're not using Trog. I didn't mean that. Please gift us some nice weapons because you haven't so far. Anyway, but for a Trog worshipper, you have Trog's hand, which means you can get MR to avoid being mesmerized should you need to do that. Normally, if you have the ability to go berserk, you have an extra tool because when you're berserk, you're not affected by mesmerization at all. It makes sense. You go crazy, you can't hear the siren singing to you, and then you can just run away if you want. But we don't have that luxury as a mummy. So, okay. Our first test, we've got a merfolk siren. So it's a 31% chance to affect us, just normally. If we now put Trog's hand on, and we have a look again, it's a 0% chance. Now don't trust that 0. The number of times, 2 in fact, that I've been mesmerized with 0% chance means that I no longer believe it. So don't believe its lies. We got to be careful of water nymphs though. So I'm going to switch to our hand crossbow, which we've only got 3.4 training, but that's okay. How about I make a macro, which is F dot, and actually, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to make that FF. That's going to fire to a precise tile, which is useful here in Shoals, because you want to fire not with tab, because if you miss monsters and there's deep water behind it, you're potentially going to lose your bolts. So, yeah, let's try not to lose all our bolts. We're going to aim the water nymph first. That's a more dangerous one. The siren is mostly dangerous due to mesmerization, but when we've got Trog's hand up, then we're fine. Another really cool thing to note is that our FF is not firing to a precise tile. Okay, I need to be aware of that. So it looks like if I want to hit to a precise tile, I actually have to manually do F dot. Let me check if I use F dot in the macro. I'm trying to see if we're actually hitting it or not. I don't know. We'll test with something that's more evasive, maybe. All right. So this time we're going to aim at the siren. I'm not putting my Trog's hand on because I'm not too afraid of this situation right now. I was more afraid when there was a water nymph around. Whereas all these random fawns, they're actually just going to kill themselves to our shield and reflection combo. Yeah, which they did. So I still didn't work out whether F dot as a macro fires to the precise tile. Let's try it now. It seems like it is. Yeah, it must, right? Because it's a bolt of penetration. So if I were to use tab, it would always fly through it. Okay, yeah, alright, good. So that does give me the answer. Alright, good. So F dot as the macro there, the superior one, if you want to fire to one tile. We've been netted. Right, I was trying to tell you the cool thing. So with melee attacks, when we're standing in shallow water like this, we have a penalty to our accuracy. Well, no, that's not true. It's not a penalty to your accuracy. It's just a chance to fumble your attack and then effectively waste it. But that doesn't apply to ranged attacks, believe it or not. So even if we're standing in water, as long as we use our crossbow, we don't have that penalty. No point trying to hit a windrake though, because it has deflect missiles. Although I wonder, I don't know if they can deflect penetration missiles. Let me see, I'm going to shoot behind it. Okay, the windrake still deflected it. Okay, we don't get to cheat. That's a shame. Isn't it great when the manticore just kills itself? Why do we know haste potions? Because one of the uniques we fought hasted. I don't remember which one. One of them got bubbed. And I don't want to jinx it, but this has been pretty straightforward so far. Shoals can get very nasty very quickly. It can get very out of hand because it's always quite open. You can get swarmed, but if we remember that we have our ace in the sleeve, or several aces up, or the multiple sleeves we have in Brother in Arms, any situation, get some angry trolls, you should be fine. A +8 demon whip of venom. Alright, nice. I think once we get that up to +9, we'll start doing our blowgun. I've stepped onto land here because it was fairly easy. Rather than switch to our crossbow, just that one extra turn to step onto dry land means we're not going to fumble our attacks. And let's keep going. As for the brand weapon scroll we're holding, I think Venom is still a perfectly serviceable brand in this stage of the game. I don't know when we'll switch. We might not actually. Kind of depends if Trog actually gives us something useful or not. Alright, that was good. So we reflected the Shard of Ice back at the Aquamancer. Those guys are scary. You always have to respect them. The Catoplepus that we're seeing here, that might mean Polyphemus is around, which would be a bit scary. I also don't like the Water Nymph. Let's shoot the Water Nymph. Need to get... Yeah, and here's a Windrake as well, and a Water Elemental. This is getting a bit crazy. I'm actually half tempted to actually teleport right now. What else could we do? I could make some Bros in Arms, but this is potentially a lot of damage. The Windrake can't miss if it airstrikes us. The Water Nymph really hurts, especially with Water Strike. And then if the Water Elemental gets on top of us, especially when we're in water, it can just engulf us so that we can no longer read scrolls. And if you're a mummy and you can't read scrolls or drink potions, I think you're in a lot of trouble. So I'm going to read the teleport. And I'm half tempted. I am just going to throw Trog's Hand on. We're kind of hurt. It's a largely unexplored level. We don't know where we're going to land just yet. So... and it might be right next to a siren, so we want to preemptively have the MR up. Alright, we got kind of lucky, we're right near a stair. So let's hang out at that stair. Is that an artifact? No, it's hunting something freezing. Okay. Alright, so that was getting a bit worrying. It was our first real test. Kind of learnt our lesson last episode to not get cocky, so I respected that situation by reacting to it early. I saw the potential for it to get out of hand, so rather than waiting for it to actually happen, we took some preventative measures, which is what you want to do when you're streaking. I mean, it's what you want to do whenever you're trying to win, but especially when you're streaking. We have 12 needles of confusion. I don't think we need to. I'm just thinking we could train more throwing for these needles. So it's kind of a complicated equation, but how effective your confusion needles are depend on how enchanted your blowgun is, how much throwing skill you have, and then the hit dice of the monster that you're fighting. So I don't know. Maybe if we didn't have so many paralysis charges and already a little bit of evocations training, I might consider that. Here's another protection from magic ring. Let's be really careful here. I'm gonna back up. This guy is just nailing us every turn. Alright, but that has the bonus effect of paralyzing your death yaks for us, so it's kind of helpful. I suspect we're going to see Polyphemus. All those death yaks we just saw makes it even more likely in my mind. Now, I wonder if we actually need this protection from magic ring. I'm going to say no. I'm going to turn those off in auto pickup, which is backslash. Because we got Trog, we can always get his hand. You know, just get a hand from Trog. Oh, okay, this is nasty. That's a Kraken / Kraken. There's going to be a stair in the middle here, and then there's going to be one in each corner. It's a really nasty down stair, if you're not careful about that one. I wonder, I kind of want to know, can we penetrate through all his... Well, that's a throwing net. That's not what I want. I want to see if we can penetrate through all his arms and just do 1 million damage. Not really. Yeah, we should back up. It's kind of safe here because we just have to step one tile around the corner and then he can't see us anymore. Also, why are our bullets doing no damage to him? This isn't fair. I don't want to randomly die. Yeah, and here's an alligator snapping turtle. Okay, these guys are nasty. They can hit you for 50 damage from a distance too. I think they've got pretty good MR. Yeah, so it's a 26% chance to get us. They're fast over water as well. Just take this slowly. As long as he doesn't nail us for 50 damage, we can casually just walk away. There's casual walk away buttons. Powerful strategy. This messes me up still. Every time I see food, I'm like, oh, I need to go pick it up. No, that's a lie. Alright. Oh, it hurts. I think we're okay. We've got quite a bit of poison on him, so if we're about to die, if he hits us again... no, I should kite him now, okay, because he's got reaching, so actually, if he hit us for 50 damage here, I step away, he could hit us again for another 50. So I'm going to start kiting him. We'll just walk him around this pillar here. And because he's poisoned, he should tick out to that. Maybe. This guy's really good at catching up to us here. I really don't want to die to him randomly though. Could you? There we go. Bit more experience. Just need him to do the polite thing and just die. Okay, that's a buckler. Just confirming, we've never seen a large shield. Correct. I would like to switch to a large shield if we ever find one. Quick check. We've got a little bit more of shields and then we're going to switch to armor and dodging training. Well, here's Nicola. We talked about him. What has he got? He's got a Rape of Electrocution. Okay, so we do have an RLX ring. we could get Aralek. The other thing I could do is read a scroll of silence, and then we'd hope that we kill him before the silence runs out, and then we die. I think that's the play I'm going to go for, though. Read the silence. He blinked out of it. Oh god, okay, we just got completely outplayed. Alright, well, let's quickly run next to him so he doesn't do that. Damn it, that was really bad. I thought he was going to land in the field. Maybe, I don't know if I'm just wrong or if the field is random. But that was really bad. See, now the field's running out. I'm going to preemptively put the Aralek ring on so we then don't just die to it. Okay, let's go. How about, I'm going to throw a throwing net at him. Alright, so the silence is on me, but no longer on Nicola. But we have the Aralek, which is really fortunate because you can't quaff resistance potions as a mummy. So everything about this was really, really bad on my part. Alright, good. Alright, yeah, that was really bad. If we had been closer, no, just everything about that was bad. Perhaps the better play would have been to just put our Aralek ring on and then make a brother in arms. His most dangerous thing is chain lightning, which bounces around to everything. If you have allies around you, it's less likely that all the bounces are going to hit you, and then he's just going to do 100 damage in one turn. Alright, so we got a whole bunch of different things. I want to get this Wand of Clouds. That's a great pickup. This other stuff is pretty good. The boxes of beasts I'm going to put on my shopping list. We've still got 2 boxes of beasts that I never ever remember to learn because I'm bad at this. This is going to be, yeah, a whole bunch of Krakens. Oh yeah, because we never killed that one over there. What do I do here? Should I just make an angry troll? No. We don't have heaps of piety. I don't want to throw it away for no reason. I also, yeah, I just really don't want to randomly die. So let's fight one of them at a time, rather than both. Alright, got him. I'm not too worried that I'm throwing all our bolts away. Once we get to vaults, we're going to start finding millions anyway from Yaptors. And Trog's also going to gift us lots too. Can you please die? Thank you. Water Strike hurts so much. Alright, I'm going to go with a shot of our Ice Blast wand because that's not going to miss. I'm kind of shooting slow hand crossbow bolts because we don't have much skill. That take 1.3 and I think we're missing a lot. Is that what we're doing? We're shooting bolts, barely missing, barely missing, barely missing. Okay. If I do an Ice Blast, it can't miss and it should kill it. It's nearly dead. Alright, thank you. Trog gives us some more bolts. Here's Polyphemus. Not the time that we wanted him to turn up because we're quite hurt. Let's make a bro in arms and another one. And I'm going to jump behind them so that we don't eat some large rocks to the face. Look at that. The angry ogres take out the giant in Polyphemus. There's another Kraken. I really should not be fighting him like that because our crossbow shots are slow. So when we're doing 1.3 crossbow shots, he could hit us twice. Yeah, I don't know. That was risky. Wand of random effects, we don't need that. There's going to be one more. Yeah, I don't want to take any more damage. I don't want to risk getting hit twice. We'll just reset. Round 2. Why are you firing there? Fire over here. Yeah, okay. Not working. I mean, this is, as long as I take this slow, this is pretty safe and guaranteed experience. Nice. We killed it by shooting out the last tentacle there. That's all 4 of them, right? Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah, think about when you come down this stair and you're in the middle and there are four angry sets of tentacles coming at you. It's like some sort of horror movie. The genre of which I will not name. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. On to Shoals 3. This is really nasty. Oh wait, no it's not, because I keep forgetting. We don't care at all about Dream Sheet because we're unbreathing. Okay. Well, this would be really nasty. Although I want to go back upstairs before we get stuck here. Okay, good. Let's go to a new stair. This is nasty. Alright. It's hard to stay on land against the elementals because, or not elementals, water nymphs, because they're going to continually flood you. Let's hit him with an ice blast as it approaches. It's a water nymph, it should be a her, definitely should be. But they're continually going to flood you. But we learnt last time that standing there and slowly shooting bolts at the water nymph isn't a great play. Check of our skills, nearly there. It's edging up at -2 aptitude, just ever so slowly edging up. Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No. Any day now. Are we there yet? No. Shut up, kids. I will turn this skill training around. Let's check this. Uncursed Amulet of the Acrobat. I don't really care too much for that. Especially on a character like this, where we pretty much always want to be attacking. Here's a Javelineer. I'm half tempted to throw on the Trog's hand right now, because it's not too bad. But anytime you see a Javelineer, can be a sign that you're about to meet a scary pack of merfolk. But not the case. Alright, we finally made it to 15 shields. It's been an odyssey. I said that because all the Cyclopses are reminding me of the Odyssey. Alright, so we want to go armor and dodging, both of those. But I'm going to focus the armor training. And focus fighting, in fact. They're the two most important ones. We're better off with armor training than dodging. In the short term, I think, because we're in plate armor. We have 17 dex. It's actually quite a lot higher than I would have expected. So dodging will help us ultimately, but I think, yeah. Get the AC first. Okay, I'm being lazy again. In terms of, I'm just shooting bolts at enemies that are in deep water. There we go. I didn't that time. And then when I run out of bolts, I'm going to feel stupid. Am I picking up tomahawks? Am I just imagining that? Yes, I am. I love it when you reflect nets. OS frog. Alright, if it's just a siren, I don't mind not throwing on the Trog's hand. And I think we are more or less done here. Not quite. Alright, we've been pulled in. So what happens is these drowned souls swamp you and get in the way. But we have a penetration crossbow, so even if millions of those got in the way, we'd still be able to shoot through them, which is why this brand is so amazing. Alright, on to Shoals 4. This hasn't been too bad, but Shoals 4 is normally quite a bit more difficult. Do we have any way to do invis? I don't think so. No. Of course, we can't quaff potions. We have to fight our way to this wand. Wand disintegration. Okay, that's fine. Partially explored. Alright, so there's a little disconnected area. So just wait for that plane. We could potentially put our ring of flight on and fly across, but I think it's better just to pick a new stair. How do we know an ambrosia potion? What monster did an ambrosia? I don't remember that ever happening. Oh boy. Okay, let's go up. And thankfully we didn't get smashed back off the stairs. These aquamancers with their primal wave can knock you back. Let's X that stair out before I get lazy and forget to check it. Because that is nasty. Ilsu is always scary, and especially because we don't have any C invis, it's really hard to fight her. Alright, the stairs are a bit better, and we're at the opposite end, which is nice. So what else? She had a couple of javelineers, an impaler, and I think that's a siren rather than an avatar. Artifact spear. Let's get out of the water. It keeps following us. The damn tides. Comes in, then it goes out, and you can't explain it. We reached level 18. We have enough strength, so we're going to go for more dex. 18 dex is crazy. How do we have so much dexterity on a mummy? It doesn't seem right. Do we have any dex items? I know we have dex on our gloves. But we don't have some ring that's giving us 1,000,000. No. Seems like a lot. I want to go back upstairs. This is scaring me. I'm even going to take barbs by moving there. That's okay. At some point we picked up a new ring. Stealth. Okay. No, thank you. It's kind of a shame we don't have digging. Because if we did, I would consider digging into this chamber here. This guy's blowing us everywhere. Because we'd be able to sit on the stairs here and then blow the wall open. So we'd be able to see what's in there. This guy is killing himself with poison tomahawks. But if this was really dangerous in here, we'd be able to go straight back up. Hey, we've got a phantom mirror. Why aren't we picking it up? I don't know. Auto pickup was off. I see. Because of Ilsu, of course. Let's ID this spear. Who knows? It's got 2 points of MR on it and some extra dex. If we didn't have Trog's hand and we needed sources of MR, I would carry this around, but we're fine. More ammunition from Trog. He's giving us sling bullets. I can go to our auto pickup and turn those off. We don't need sling bullets anymore. They were turned off apparently. Alright. Trog is still going to keep gifting them to us. He's looking at it and saying, hey, you've got 7.9 points of slings. I know that you want more sling bullets. And we're like, Trog, no, I just want some sort of anti-magic demon whip. That's not much to ask for. He's still only given us a mace. It's actually one of the bad things when you, oh, this is going out of hand very quickly. But it's one of the bad things when you're going both ranged and melee with Trog, because he continually gives you ranged ammunition, and that lowers your piety so that then he's giving you fewer gifts. So you've got a frost giant and an aquamancer. I'm going to see if we can just get to the stairs. There's also a, oh, nice. I didn't know you could reflect the primal wave. That's really interesting. Okay. This is getting really scary. I'm gonna make a... We actually don't have much piety left for brothers in arms, but we know we don't want to go to this stair for Ilsu, and this one is kind of bad. Although maybe... No. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go back up. Please don't hit me off, bro. Good. I'm gonna X that out. That's a scary stair. Let's go back to the original one. It's not that far away from where Ilsu was, so if we stand here and yell, we might be able to break that pack up a bit. So this is probably the Impaler, or it's one of them maybe. apparently we can fight those fairly comfortably. Okay, there are just millions of impalers. I don't know if we actually got the one that we saw. We can even penetrate through the plants. How OP is that? I'm going to step one tile to the left. That's going to bring the impaler next to the stair, so then we can actually fight him on dry land. I'm going to go back upstairs before we get mesmerized back down there. Good. Okay. Alright, so we're currently mesmerized and there's a Aquamancer coming. So I'm going to take this really slowly, knowing that at any point he could hit us with a throw icicle that really hurts. Alright, we're out of mesmerization. We are bugged, but I'm willing to step once just to get on dry land so that our attacks will land. Get on land so our attacks will land. It's just the land themed play. And we're going for the Aquamancer as the more dangerous one here. Yeah. Once he's down, then I'm not afraid anymore. Good. Now we're going to stand on the stairs here and we're going to do a bit of yelling. I feel like mummies should rasp rather than yell. Again, they're unbreathing. She's having none of it. Okay, new plan. Let's fly over. I'm going to put on the uncursed ring of flight and we're going to evoke it. I'm going to fly over to these stairs. Oh no. Oh no, we're getting outplayed. The windrake has airstrike, which does additional damage when you're flying. We're getting hard countered right now. I didn't need to do it that time, because we were flying. This Merfolk Javelineer is carrying an artifact battle axe. What a beast. I don't really care about it because it's a double-handed weapon, so even if it has some great resistances on it, it's useless to us with a shield. But if I wanted this, I'd have to go upstairs because he's going to sit in the deep water just throwing javelins at us. And so when and if he dies, his battle axe will be lost to us. I'm going to check that he doesn't have anything else. Okay, good. Sometimes monsters that pick up stuff like this deck themselves out if there's a lot of loot around. So he might have had rings and things too. I don't know where Ilsu went to. She went invis and then just never came back. Here's the Impaler again. Maybe this is the original Impaler. Okay, yep. The water nymph covered the stair. While I've got the ring of flight still on, I may as well evoke the flight so that we're not suffering the attack penalty here. It's actually not a bad item to just keep on here while we're in shoals, so we don't have to deal with water. Is it better than having +3 evasion all the time? I'm not sure. Probably not. Alright, so we've got Ilsu and a bunch of other things. If we're going to fight this, which I'm not sure we should, I want to put Trog's hand on because we've seen the siren here. If we get stuck here, it's going to be no good. The way that I'm going to tell if we should stay or not is I'm going to do the lamp of fire, and if we hit where Ilsu is, then we'll stay. If I miss, we'll go. Alright, it wasn't even close. What was this? Come on now. I really want to stay, but this is not wise. How about, let's fire our Wand of Clouds. This one can't miss. Okay, we've got poison, that's not bad. And with our penetration crossbow, we can actually fire through everything. Yeah, okay, this isn't so bad. Maybe. Oh, apparently you can't get engulfed as a mummy. I didn't know that. Okay, so being unbreathing, I saw we had the engulf status there, but it was grayed out. So I guess that means you don't take damage from it. But I wonder if you can read scrolls. Okay, I'm gonna have to do some science the next one we see. Let's throw out some ice blast shots so we can get all 3 of these. Okay, never mind. Okay, we need to get, okay, we've got engulf. So see it's grayed out. Now can we read? Apparently we can. Alright, mummies. Overpowered species. Ilsu just blinked. Let's go. I'm gonna pull out the ice blast again. I just want to finish her off. And then Impaler's nearly dead. Yeah, we'll kill him. In this instance, we're actually better off not using F dot. Well, we can fire it over here so that we won't. If we F dot on the Impaler, we're going to lose it in the deep water. But if we penetrate through him, we can keep our bolts. I could have probably been doing this a lot if I wasn't lazy. This is kind of annoying. Okay, I'm over it. Let's go back up. Our MR's running out, so we may as well heal back up before we fight this siren. Oh yeah, right, we've got Scrolls of Torment. I should remember that. That's actually Scrolls of Torment, really good play. Demon Trident of Elec. I want this just because it's a really good item. I'd feel bad if I let a Demon Trident of Elec fall into the water. Because that is my favorite weapon in the game. Like standard weapon, I'm not counting Wormbane or anything like that. Enchant armor goes on our plate armor. I'm not expecting to find the rune down here. It's most likely in this one, I'd say, because we saw a frost giant. I'm pretty sure the frost giant will have been in the one that's guarding the rune, along with a Javelineer and an Aquamancer. So they're pretty elite enemies to find here in Shoals 4. They're probably in the rune vault, so it's probably either this one, or maybe there's another hut just over here to the left. So yeah, I don't think we'll find the rune down here. Nice. There's always something very satisfying killing enemies with reflection. Demon Trident freezing. An empty room. Thinking. We could just live here. What a strange room. I don't know what's going on there. Oh yeah, Curare. See, I'm so bad at remembering the blowgun. We could have Curaried Ilsu. That would have been a good play. We could have slowed her and made her very poisoned. Alright, let's keep going. So here's an Aquamancer. And a bunch of stuff coming from below. I'd kind of like to retreat into this room so that we can funnel them through this entrance here. But for that, I want to be flying. Okay, and if this gets out of hand, we can cloud them all. But I don't think it will. Yeah, we're fine. See here, a manual, as in a manual, not e manual. More ammo from Trog, more bolts. These Javelineers keep turning up. Let's evoke flight again. I mean, I can't complain too much because that's better they're coming one at a time than all at once. But it's curious. A manual of stealth. I'm going to categorically say that we will not be training any stealth this game. Categorically. I'm going to completely disavow the stealth skill entirely. Let's ID this Steaming Trident. +1 Trident. RLEC, RF+, RC+. As the only means to get RF. As in, it's on our armor, but that only overcomes our vulnerability as a mummy. We have no other RF, so I'm going to keep that with us. Let's get it uncursed now so that we don't get stuck with it later. But I can imagine that being useful. We're going to be heading into vaults next. Probably, actually, we might go into elf. But in any case, once we start seeing fire giants and that sort of thing, I want to be able to get RF. Because remember, we can't ever quaff resistance potions. Let's pull him back in. Yeah, I think maybe we might do elf next, before vaults. One of the main dangers of elf, of course, is always not having enough MR and getting banished. But with Trog's hand, not a worry. And the other cool thing about doing elf with Trog is he really likes it when you kill all the nerds in there. You get lots of piety. Maybe even enough piety to get a god gift. Hey, here's our rune. I was correct, so it was in this hut. I don't remember making lots of noise, but it seemed like everything wandered out of there. That must be why the javelineers were turning up one at a time. They were coming out of this one and making their way over to the left here. So there's still a frost giant walking around. Staff of Earth, not so useful. Staff of Fire is probably the only one that we really care about. Maybe Staff of Air, although we have a way to get RLX, so it's just Staff of Fire I care about. I'm going to go Shift X Control F because I would like to find that frost giant. He's worth a lot of experience, and I'm not too threatened. Especially if we curare him. It's going to slow him down, poison him. So now as he's walking up, we can pepper him with bolts. He drank an Invis potion. What? That's not fair. Invis frost giant. Okay. Let's go back upstairs. We're not fighting an Invis frost giant. I'm going to go to a new stair. We'll wait it out. Shift X Control U undoes the forgetting the floor because he should just be hanging out. Where were we? Over here somewhere? No. Over here. Should be over here somewhere. We found a sea snake. They're actually much less dangerous when you're immune to poison. Funny that. Alright, round 2. I definitely don't want to fire my curare bolts over, or curare needles over deep water. They're very precious. Alright, good. Now, as long as he doesn't have a second potion, that was a no. He had just the battle axe of freezing. Okay. Alright, our auto pickup was off from the frost giant. We got netted again. Alright, so there's our shoals done. 2 runes in 6 episodes, not bad. Certainly a much faster early game than the last playthrough with that Sprigging Conjurer. There was an absolute battle. So now we have the choice of going to vaults or going to do elf. Things to keep in mind. We don't have a good source of RF, and I think the more dangerous RF monsters are going to be in vaults. There'll be fire dragons, there'll potentially be fire giants. You can meet Marjorie in vaults, which is really scary. Whereas in elf, the main threats are MR, which we have Trog's hand for, lightning bolt in particular, which we have RLEC for, and then also getting 1 or 2 shot by a crystal spear. And we have 158 HP, which I'm comfortable with. It's 102 max damage crystal spear. So we have some blinking scrolls. If we get nailed, we can always run away. So yeah, I think elf sounds like the better option to me. Let's check our shopping list. Paralysis wand. We still got plenty of those. Alright, yeah. Let's go to elf then. I'm half tempted to put on our protection from magic ring instead of the +3 evasion. It means that we'll have 3 pips of MR naturally, And then we actually don't even need to worry about Trog's hand. And we can save our piety. Yeah, I like that. Alright, we still want to use it for non-trivial fights for the HP regen, but we've got our MR covered. And let's see if we can find some other RF source in Elf. And then we'll be much safer in bolts. We hear the crackle of arcane power. It tells us there's a whiz lab. Some whiz labs could be really good for us, so I'm going to magic map it. There's only one on the floor, it's going to be this one. Again, if you're unsure, the trick here the devs don't want you to know, go Shift X and look for downstairs. We'll tell you which one, and it's this one. Scimitar of Holy Wrath. I don't like that. It's going to destroy us, we're a mummy. So what I'm going to do is pull out our hand crossbow with penetration. I'm going to shoot through the mace to try to kill the scimitar before it even gets a chance to do its holy stuff to us. Didn't. Okay. Alright. Well, it wasn't too bad once we started demon whipping it. I'm going to say, let's hold our brand weapon scroll until we at least do Hall of Blades, because we might find an Evening Star in there, and that might change our plans. Let's back up. Come at me, bro. Don't lightning bolt me, bro. Vampiric Halberd, not too scary. Where are you? Oh, we killed him. Okay, he died to the poison. I was really confused. Huh. That's an artifact scale mail. And I say there's very, very little chance that that's going to be better than a +7 plate armor of fire resistance, but we can test it. Note that if you have low MR here as a mummy, you need to respect Deep Elf archers because they have confusion spell. Alright, it's going to die to the poison. Let's ID the scale mail just in case. It's +6. It's got a bunch of things, but doesn't matter because we really need RF. Okay, short sword of protection. I'm checking all of them in case they're distortion or holy wrath. And looks like we made it. I'll fight these guys before we go in. Alright, and we'll at least see which one we get. It's the Fleshworks. Okay, so one of the main things you get out of here is 1,000,000 potions of mutation, so that's not going to do much for us. And actually, I need to show you. It's only recently that I actually figured out how to do the Fleshworks. For a very long time, I didn't realize how it actually worked. Because I'd always get to this room, and then I think I didn't realize that this is a door. So I'd always get to this point and I'd be like, I don't know how to go further, and then I'd just leave. But yeah, this is a door. Yeah, so there you go. We're going to meet the flesh monster. Here he is, the flesh golem. Hits surprisingly hard. Actually doesn't, only 35. Am I misremembering him? Maybe. I feel like he's scary. I guess I don't have much experience fighting him because, as I say, it's only recently I even figured out how to do this thing. I think I watched someone else do it and my mind just blew. I was like, oh, okay, that was a door. So do I make a brother in arms? I don't know whether to respect this guy or not. He's slow. He only hits for 35. If he's slow, we can just kite him. I don't think he does anything too dangerous. Alright. Okay, never mind. He's actually trivial. I do want to go get our bolts back. I'm not really afraid of... Oh boy, that's a golden eye. Okay, lucky I noticed that. confusion gaze. It's only a 7% chance to get us, I guess, because we're still wearing the MR ring. But these guys can chain confuse you as a mummy. Terrifying. Utterly terrifying. Yeah, so speaking of mutagenic fog, normally you care because you're going to get malmutated, but in our case, we're a mummy, we can't be mutated, so it's just going to drain our stats. Actually, it's going to drain our stats a lot, it turns out. We're down to 4 int, so maybe I shouldn't get that contaminated. I regret my decision. Let's just wait off all the contam. Let's make sure that we're not about to get stat death. Alright, don't care about a death drake. We're immune to... That's miasma. Floating eyes. Okay, floating eyes utterly terrifying with other scary monsters around. Smite targeted paralysis that ignores your MR. Totally balanced. So in this instance where we've got other things, I don't want anything to do with that. Okay, see that was the paralysis. Fortunately at that point we just had a yak, so whatever. Alright, this one, especially when we're in a fire cloud, this is scary enough I think that I'm going to make a brother in arms. Oh yeah, and it became a Tarantella. Oh boy, a Tarantella and a floating eye. Okay, well we still had the bro in arms, so it was kind of okay. I think he was confused though, so maybe that wasn't so good. Go away, floating eyes. Too many of you. Shining eyes I don't care about, except that our int's only at 4 right now, 3 right now. Okay, if we see more shining eyes I need to respect them. That is an artifact ring. Alright, this might be the loot that we were after. Is it an RF ring? It's an RF minus ring. Oh, okay, well that's a bummer. I'm just gonna drop it. MR+++, amazing. But as a mummy, we need RF. Yeah, see, these are all mutation potions, I can promise you. I'm going to get in this room so that we can use the doorway to sort of funnel them in, rather than getting surrounded. Which we're now doing. I tried. Yeah, so you get 1 million mutation potions in here. We can't quaff any of them though. We never went to this other side. Let's check that out before we leave. What is with all these eyes? I should not be just fighting the shining eye like that. It's only a 7% confusion chance, but that's, I don't know, it's significant when you're a mummy. Here's Sigtubi's monster. Right, here's the one that you need to respect. Okay, yeah, not the flesh golem. Okay, yeah, here's a dangerous one. It's got 40 damage, can hit, he can sting from a distance for up to 25, constrict for 25, trample for another 25. Yeah, so he is the one you need to fear. Alright, so let's make some bros. We fail, we get one, let's get a second one, and then let's shoot our penetration bolts through. I wonder, I'm going to start backing up. We might be able to, yeah, okay, nice. It's bros when you need them. A whole bunch of books, great. Fantastic loot. 5 scrolls of something, let's ID that. 5 scrolls of something, nice. Okay, very, very good loot there. Kind of makes it all worth it. Alright, and we're done in here. And we can't auto travel out because of all the mutagenic fog. If you have digging, you can dig into those rooms, but well, we don't. Alright, cool. So that's going to be it for this one. If you join me in the next one, we will probably do the Hall of Blades to see if we can get a nice evening star, and then we'll finish off Elf before heading to Vaults. See you then.